G'day, my name's Grant Norsworthy. Thanks for letting me introduce myself. I'm originally from Australia, as the accent might give away, but I've been living in the United States, Nashville, Tennessee, actually, for the last 7 or so years since early 2002. I relocated from the land of Oz to the US with the band called the Paul Coleman Trio, or PC3 for short, and we enjoyed some chart success for a little while we were here. And after that band broke up, my wife Brooke and I decided to stay in America and see what we could do. I found myself pretty quickly playing bass guitar for the band SONICFLOOd, and enjoyed my 3.5 years with that band very much. And it was while I was with SONICFLOOd that I began speaking to crowds from stage, especially about the work of Compassion International and encouraging people to begin sponsoring a child. Since early 2008, I have gone through something of a change in my life, and instead of just playing bass guitar, which is still very much the coolest of all instruments, I've decided to pick up the acoustic guitar and call myself a lead singer, but focusing mainly on being a speaker and teacher. I call what I do Grant Norsworthy Word and Song, and in that capacity I've had opportunities to speak to college groups, high school groups, festival crowds, even emceeing a festival or two, and workshops, seminars, church services, all sorts of stuff, and really enjoying that work. It turns out I've got more to say, at least I hope God has got more to say through me than can be expressed by just the bass notes. But while I was with SONICFLOOd, I had quite an experience that really changed my life, and you might be familiar with the song I Could Sing of Your Love Forever. It's a real favourite of mine. I would enjoy playing that song every night with the band. It was one of the songs that SONICFLOOd had as quite a big hit. And we would play that song usually towards the end of our concerts, and we'd turn it into an audience participation number, which means you make several of the last few choruses very quiet, from the band at least, and really ask the crowd to sing as loudly and as passionately as possible. And in that song, the chorus is simply the title of the song over and over again: I could sing of your love forever. I could sing of your love forever. And obviously what we're encouraging people to do is to revel in this idea that God loves us and we love him, and just, I guess, enjoy that mountaintop experience of reveling in that love. But it was during one of those nights, one of those moments on stage for me, when a thought hit me in the brain like a truck, and my life hasn't been the same ever since. And I believe God was speaking to me through this thought. I guess I could be wrong, but I just don't think I am. And this was the thought. God said to me, I never asked you to sing about my love, but instead I asked you to be my love. And as someone who'd spent most of his professional life trying to encourage people to sing about God's love, that has certainly had an effect on me. And it's true, nowhere in the recorded words of Jesus can I find anywhere where Jesus asks us to sing about his love. But over and over again, he asks us to be his love, to one another, to our neighbors, to our enemies, and I think especially to the least of these, to the poor, to the downtrodden, to the disenfranchised. And so from early 2008, as Grant Norsworthy Word and Song, that's what I've been trying to do, to encourage people to realign in our minds what truly worship means, what it means to be a worshipper, because I'm convinced that although singing songs to God and about God's love for us and declaring biblical truths and praying through music, these are all wonderful things to do, and I encourage people to do that myself. But we need to realize that in and of itself, that is not worship. But worship is actually my whole life surrendered at the foot of the cross. It's everything that comes out of me in response to who God is. And I like to point people to Romans 12:1, which says, "Therefore, brothers and sisters, offer yourselves as living sacrifices, holy and acceptable to God, and let that be your spiritual act of worship." Or perhaps even James 1:27 that says, "Pure and perfect worship in the sight of God is to care for orphans and widows and to remain uncorrupted by the world." Yes, it's great to sing songs about God's love for us and our love for him. It's a beautiful thing. In fact, in my experience, somehow my decision to sing these songs can open a portal, I guess, through which God can truly melt my heart and convince me of the truths of him. But these songs should only be sung, I think, as they inspire us to surrender our lives as an expression of worship. And a surrendered life will definitely express compassion for the poor. This is where the message of compassion fits so perfectly. Encouraging people to sponsor children, as an expression of worship, as a valid and asked for response to the cross, a response that is actually asked for by Jesus, and is more powerful, I believe, than any number of songs we will ever sing about God's love. Thank you for listening.
G'day, Kingston! Fantastic. Wow. That was good, wasn't it? That was cool.